On the coast of occupied France, the port of Saint-Nazaire held a secret that kept the British Admiralty awake at night. Its dry dock was the largest in the world outside of Hamburg, the only facility on the Atlantic capable of sheltering Germany's most feared battleship, the Tirpitz. As long as it stood, the entire North Atlantic remained under threat. In early 1942, a small group of British naval planners gathered around a map and asked a question that seemed almost insane. Could a single ship destroy something no bomb had managed to touch? The answer was audacious, reckless, and by any reasonable measure, nearly suicidal. They called it Operation Chariot, and they began to plan in secret. The weapon they chose was HMS Campbelltown, an aging destroyer already past its prime. Workers stripped her down, reshaped her funnels, and gave her the silhouette of a German torpedo boat. Hidden within her hull, they packed nearly 4.5 tons of high explosives behind a layer of concrete. She was not being prepared for battle. She was being turned into a bomb. More than 600 men volunteered for a mission most were told they might not survive. Commandos and sailors stepped forward, knowing the odds. They were briefed in fragments, told only what they needed to know. Each man carried his kit and his silence. Whatever fear existed was buried beneath the weight of duty. On the night of the 26th of March, 1942, the flotilla slipped out into the Atlantic, Campbelltown at the front, flanked by motor launches and escort destroyers. They sailed under radio silence, using captured German signals to pose as a friendly convoy. Every mile closer to France was a mile deeper into the unknown. As they entered the Loire estuary before dawn, the Germans were watching, but uncertain. The ships flew German flags. Radio operators transmitted German recognition signals. For several critical minutes, the harbor defenses hesitated. Then the searchlights came alive, and the silence broke apart. Under fire from both banks, Campbelltown accelerated to full speed. Her captain, Commander Sam Beatty, held a steady course as tracer rounds tore through the darkness. The massive dock gate loomed ahead, a wall of steel and concrete rising from the black water. At 1:34 in the morning, the old destroyer struck it at nearly 20 knots. The impact buried the ship deep into the dock gate. Within seconds, commandos flooded off in every direction, racing through gunfire to destroy pumping stations, winding gear, and harbor infrastructure. The Germans scrambled to respond, but for one brief, violent window, the raiders were exactly where they needed to be. By morning, German officers walked the decks with quiet confidence. The commandos were gone, killed, captured, or retreating into the darkness. The dock gate appeared solid. An inspection team was sent aboard, photographs were taken, and senior officers began to relax. They had no idea what was waiting inside the hull beneath their feet. At noon on the 28th of March, the explosives detonated. The blast destroyed the dock gate beyond any repair, killed hundreds of German personnel, and ended Saint-Nazaire as a refuge for capital warships. The Tirpitz would never dock there. The largest dry dock on the Atlantic coast had been erased, not by an army, not by an air campaign, but by one old ship, a few hundred volunteers, and a plan that should never have worked.